What we do here is go back.
Welcome to SportsCraft. This is Blackjack. This video, we're talking about the new expansion uniforms that I've created for my MyGM series, and that's also available for you to download if you want to use them. So, as many of you know, in my MyGM series, basically what I've done is that at the end of the episode, I said that there are going to be two new expansion teams coming in. I've decided to use one of the first uniforms that I've already created, my Tigers uniform from an earlier SportsCraft video where I was talking about designing professional looking uniforms. And for the second uniform, I was kind of thinking, well, what do I really want to do here? Do I want like another uniform that's kind of like the Tigers where it has like that nice future feel? Do I want to go with a more subtle looking modern uniform, something like the Hornets have, where it's got a nice little panel design down on the side but isn't too like gaudy or anything like that? Or do I get kind of ambitious with this and do something a little different? So I finally settled down on a location. I was debating between having the team be in Virginia or be in Maryland, and then kind of going back and forth between four different designs that I had. No, I'm not going to show all of them because some of them are just kind of like works in progresses, and the other one, the one I finally had, I just kind of finished because it just kind of all stuck. I fell in love with the Maryland flag, and the Maryland flag is just awesome. It looks great. I look at the University of Maryland's uniforms, and you know, the red and yellow and white and black combo together just really works very well if you know how to highlight certain things. So that's what I went with. So here you see the Baltimore Royals, and this is the uniform. I think for the most part, everything that I have right now is kind of the way that I want it to be. There may be like subtle changes, maybe with the way that the text looks and everything, but for right now, this is the new expansion team that I have, the Baltimore Royals. Simple little lion logo on the shorts, and the lion to represent the team logo. Black and yellow is part of their state flag and is also the seal for Baltimore. So that's why when you see the away uniforms, Baltimore is in yellow, and then the red and white is the other half of the flag. I don't know the full history of the flag. I really probably should look that up a little bit more. But it's a really awesome looking flag, and I think it's a great basis for a uniform. I think sometimes the University of Maryland gets a little too over the top with it and tends to try to incorporate it a little too much where it gets out of control. But for the most part, when they use the flag as a design, it looks really good. So I've done the same thing here. So we'll start with the home uniform look, as it's pretty much the same as the away uniform. The home uniform look, what I basically decided was, okay, part of the flag is white and red. So I use that as kind of just like the basis and the trim and everything, so that you get that nice white and red with the cross there. And then the other half of the flag is yellow and black, and I was gonna let that just kind of be the accent of everything on the uniform here. And I wanted to do something a little similar to, like, you know how you see like the Nuggets uniform, and whenever they have like the now it's like a yellow, blue, and blue thing where they have like the I guess it's like a cityscape of Denver. It used to be like the rainbow, like the old Mutombo uniforms, and then it would have like the 55 right on top of it. Well, I looked at like some soccer uniforms, for instance, and I saw how they'll have like a stripe going across and then have the number inside of that stripe, and I was like, that's a really good idea. I don't know why teams in the NBA are kind of afraid of doing that. I mean, Northwestern kind of does that with their football uniforms, where they have like the stripes coming across and then like the number kind of meets in the middle, but I don't think the numbers actually kind of overlap it. It's just like the number is there in the middle of where that stripe pattern looks. But I was like, what if you actually incorporate the number into the stripe? I mean, every player can have like their number inside of the flag. So I went to Photoshop. I essentially took that slash that kind of naturally happens along the black and yellow portion of it and continued it into the white and red portion of the flag. so that it kind of creates that nice illusion of like you see part of the cross towards at the end of the tip, and then it just continues in all red going across. So it starts off white with the red cross and then goes across, and it's just a red stripe and the white cross going down about as far as the cross goes, and then the black and the red stripe just continue to run across, continue to run along that end of the jersey. And the jersey just kind of from there, just on that simple design, started to come together. And I really liked it. I drew a lot of inspiration from, like I said, that Nuggets uniform and looking at soccer uniforms. There's one in particular, like the, like I say, if it's striped, but there was one uniform, the Spain uniform, because I wanted to do something similar to that, like, triangle pattern where it's just like some parts are red, some parts are yellow, and kind of sprinkle it across and do a uniform like that. That's a design I'm still kind of working on, where it's something unique to that. And then I just kind of said, you know what, I can do something like that where the number kind of sits on where that design is, and just did it with the flag. I made the black a little bigger because that's the least featured part. Well, I guess I don't want to say the least featured, but it's not like the whole uniform is white and red. So you want that kind of black and yellow to kind of stick out and be there because that's part of the flag, and just kind of let it run across. And it's easier for me to put, you know, like a yellow number or a red number or a white number on top of that black than have to worry about putting it on the red, where all of a sudden it's like, okay, if I put a white on there, it's fine. But if I make that like black, or if I make it yellow or anything like that, then I kind of run into trouble. So that's pretty much the setup for it on the top part of the jersey. On the bottom, I essentially did the same thing. And it's a little bit of, I believe the Blazers have a design similar to this, where it's like on the top, they have like the slash coming down through the right, and then down on the bottom is that, is another like the stripes coming down the side, but straight. So I did the same thing here. I took that flag design, made it a little skinnier, and then just kind of ran it down the edge of the short, so that you can see where that split happens is where the flag starts to run up, and it's split on both sides, and then it just runs up pretty much to the length of the short. Looks really good, nice and clean. It matches that cut almost perfectly, and there you go. There's just the basic design of it. I think there's a lot that you can do in this editor when you go into Photoshop and you just kind of make small little stripe pattern designs like that. So if you're getting ideas and you want to assemble something like this, the simpler you make it and the simpler shapes that you do, the easier and cleaner your design looks. Like all this is all it is. It's just a stripe going across and then a stripe going down, and it's the flag. So you can do your little designs inside those patterns, and then bam, you have just a nice clean uniform. All I did was I put the Lion logo down on the bottom, and then I put Baltimore. I have my own custom text. I'll put the text right here somewhere in the video. It'll say what it is and where you can download it. It's from defont.com. That's where I kind of get, except for the Tiger Spot. The Tiger Spot was something that is a logo that was already created. With this one, I wanted to try to create my own, so yeah, you can get the font at defont.com. That's where I actually, for a lot of the high school uniforms, where I get it from. So again, nice simple design. Here are the away uniforms. It's the same thing, except the colors are flipped a little bit on the white and red portion. So instead of the white being the tip and then the red being the line that runs across, now it's the red is the tip and the white runs across from it. So that's pretty much the uniform as it is. And I think for a professional uniform, that looks great. And that's how like a professional uniform should look. And there's a good enough contrast between the Baltimore uniform and the Las Vegas uniform, where essentially, you know, the way that I approach the professional design for a uniform is that you can get a little bit ambitious with it, and you want it to pop a little bit more and have a little bit more feeling, a little bit more pride in it. Whereas, you know, when you look at my high school uniforms, they're a lot more toned down. It's just like, okay, here's the name of the school, here's the number, and just some simple designs. You don't want to get too crazy. Even though each one has a different little feel to it, they don't get too gaudy. Whereas, you know, you look at the NBA uniforms, they all have like special, like crazy patterns running around, or, you know, they try to make things pop a little bit more, and get very, very ambitious with design. So that's what I try to match here. So I try to make that contrast between, you know, the high school or collegiate uniforms and then whatever the professional ones. So again, If you want to download this, it's available now. The BlackjackXXI, that's where you can download it. And you'll be seeing these very soon in the next episode of NBA 2K17 My GM. It is in the process. I am working on it, but this was the one thing that I need to work on top of getting my Dynasty ready as well. The other series should be coming out too, so you should be seeing Cutcliffe and Madden as well. Hopefully, I can knock out all 4 this week. I was on break, and then tonight I'm watching the national championship game because my Clemson Tigers are in it. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Again, if you want to download it, it's available. Let me know what you want to see in the next SportsCraft. There's actually a few more that I'm working on right now, which is how to build dynasties in Team Builder. Or, you know, like if you want to set up a dynasty in NCAA, that one should probably actually be out tomorrow or Wednesday is when I'm planning to do it. Basically, the setup for it is going to be, all right, here's what you need to know, especially if you're going into Team Builder, how to design it, how to set it up, what to look out for, what you should be doing in preparation before you get in there, and all that good stuff. And then later on down the road, since I've gotten a lot of requests for it, I'm going to do a video that focuses on how to create a sports series. I know that sounds kind of, I don't know, like, I guess a bit, I don't know, pretentious maybe is the word, where it's just like, oh, you're just going to tell people like how to create things now. But people ask me like, how do you do all this stuff? And, you know, what's the setup and the process behind it? So I want to give you some ideas so that you can go ahead and, if you want to create series, get a little peek into my mind and the setup and everything that I do to make sure things happen correctly, and that when the video comes out, it's like you see it and it's like, whoa, this is awesome. Like I've never seen anything like this before. You see how much effort goes into it to produce the product. I mean, like Swami has said, I spent 3 hours with him just sitting down and talking about, okay, here's what you need to do to set up and go ahead and create your uniforms and do all this. Me and Hurricane talk day after day after day after day about how to improve his content, and then how to set up stuff for him and get ideas, and we just bounce ideas off of each other. I think that for the most part, what I want to use SportsCraft for, and what, you know, as sports creators, what we should be doing is making this a marketplace of ideas, and for everyone to kind of see each other's videos and see, oh man, that's awesome, I want to try to do something like that. Or maybe like, oh, that's an idea, I can maybe do something better and do that. So, you know, that's what I want to kind of do with this video, is to open up kind of that discussion and allow you guys at least to kind of see my ideas, and even some ideas that I've had and have either used and transplanted into something else, or that have just kind of gone to the wayside. So look out for that in the next couple of SportsCraft SportsCraft videos. And then also be prepared for pretty much Cutcliffe, Madden, and my GM to come back, as well as Dynasty this week. Till next episode, guys. Take care.